Hey guys, welcome to another video here. We have the new ban announcement today. This came, just today, like literally, uh, saw this and was talking about it with my friends. So I thought that I should talk about this, give my thoughts, as well as going forward. I'm very happy about this. First of all, because I was literally going to do a kind of a deck building video or kind of a theory crafting video about how to beat Wilderness Reclamation. Spoilers, my idea was some kind of Sultai Shovel deck that was able to be good against creature decks while also just playing Mystical Disputes and good Planeswalkers for pressure. But now I don't have to do that anymore because as you can see, in Standard we have Wilderness Reclamation, Growth Spiral, Teferi Time Raveler, and Cauldron Familiar all gone. So as you might know, this is from a lot of the top decks, Wilderness Reclamation and Growth Spiral, obviously from those decks. Growth Spiral also being taken out of Band Ramp, which might be impactful, but they can probably just replace that with any ramp creature. Teferi, again, being taken away from the control decks, and just basically any deck that might just shove it in there. And then Cauldron Familiar being taken away from those Rakdos or Jund Sacrifice decks. Really was something that I was calling for a lot. A lot of people didn't see as much of a problem with it, but I thought very much that it was hard to deal with, especially in game one, and often just preyed upon mostly the slower decks or the aggressive decks. Um, so I'm particularly happy to. Yes, Wilderness Reclamation going absolutely. Growth Spiral going absolutely. Sad to see Teferi go. I really liked it, but I do understand that it probably is for the better. But I'm personally very happy to see the Cauldron Familiar ban. It was just an auto include in so many decks, both in the meta decks as well as in many of the decks that I did on this channel. In the mono black aggro deck, or just so many of the decks that I ran, both on and off the channel. Um, just ran Cauldron Familiar, and I was sick and tired of it. Going forward, what does standard look like? My opinion, I think Bant Ramp or the Simic Ramp decks are still going to be good. I think it's other than that, you still have the Winota decks that a lot of people are worried about. I'm less so worried about it just because I think that it frees up a lot of the creature interaction. I think that Standard in general is going to look much more creature-oriented, which is nice, or creature and planeswalker-oriented, which, again, we have interaction for that now. Especially in Eliminate, I think the play rate of Eliminate is going to see an even higher uptick in play, even before when it was, you could use it to counter Teferi or Narset, but I think even more so now. Um, um, yeah, and then otherwise, we might have some 2/2 decks might tick up in play, like the Is It decks, Is It Flash decks, or the Dimir Flash decks, or things like that. So greatly happy, sorry, very, very happy with the standard bans and how standard is going to look in the future. As for Pioneer, we have Inverter, Kethis, Walking Ballista, and Underworld Breach. So 4 combo decks, all taking a hit. This is a very hard stance, which I think everybody wanted to see. Obviously, Inverter, people wanted to go. Breach, obviously, people wanted to go. I think Walking Ballista is an unfortunate loss. I think a lot of people did not want Walking to Ballista get banned. Obviously, people did not want the Heliod Ballista combo to be a thing, but Ballista is a very useful card against aggressive decks or just mid-range or just a good tool to have in general. But it's unfortunate to see it go. I personally would have rather seen Heliod, but I don't know. Maybe they thought Ballista was just a better card to ban in general. And then Kethis, they said, in their explanation down here, that basically it's not a problem like currently, but there's a lot of signs that this card is a potential problem, especially with the Oath of Nissa unban, and just the way the card works in general, and the way the deck works in general, just makes it very resilient. So it was already a thing in Standard, as well as it is a thing in Historic, and so with just the power level of the cards in Pioneer, they thought it might be too much, and so I think that's a fine kind of preemptive ban. And if it turns out to be, if they see that it might be fine, it might get the same treatment as Oath of Nissa. But I don't think anybody's missing out on Kethis. As for Historic, we're getting very similar bans, just Wilderness Reclamation and Teferi, though. No Cauldron Familiar or Growth Spiral, basically. And I think this is a good move. I think, those are the right cards to ban for the power level and of Historic, and since Historic is kind of Standard-esque. So yeah, again, kind of the same notes of Standard. As for where Pioneer and Historic go, I don't know. But I think these are both good moves. And then I don't want to talk about this too much, just because Brawl is not something that I really cover. But apparently Teferi was seen in play in 10%, I think, of the formats. Sorry, 10% of games, and had a high win rate. So that seems like a very good ban. I think also just in general, Brawl is kind of where Standard players go when they don't want to deal with the Standard metagame anymore. And so when cards that are highly played in Standard become popular in Brawl, so for example, like what was another one? Jace. Or Jace Vryn's Prodigy. No, not Jace Vryn, but other cards like it. That were just popular in Brawl. The Scarab God, maybe. What is banned in Brawl? I don't know. Let me look. What else is banned in Brawl? So like, yeah, Oko. Yeah. Or like Golos. So a lot of these cards are like very popular in Standards, like Oko, Golos. That's where people. So Brawl is like where people go to escape the Standard metagame, and so obviously if a card's getting banned in Standard, probably means that it should be looked at in Brawl. So and with the 10% win rate, that seems like a fine choice to me. Otherwise, they did note that they are basically going to be making these kinds of changes on a on regular without a 1 week advance notice. And I really like this, especially right now with the coronavirus. Obviously, there are no in-person events taking place, and so with that, a lot of people suggested changing up how they do bans, because obviously there's less repercussions in an online format. On Arena, they give you your wildcards refunded, and online it's it's whatever. So a lot of people suggested doing what they did with Pioneer and taking a more aggressive approach to bans. Since again, if and also of note, Wizards has been and Hasbro in general have been struggling, business-wise, because of the lack of cards. And so I think if they kind of improve the user response to Pioneer and Standard and all of their formats through the online method, then I think that they're going to have a better success in their business efforts. I don't know. But in any case, I think that's the right move, and I'm very happy to see that they've. I don't want to say that they listened to their players, but I assume someone from Wizards probably suggested this as well. I don't want to give all the credit to the Magic players. I do kind of want to congratulate Magic on making a good decision. But I think this will be nice, assuming that this doesn't go kind of too much in the other direction, and it kind of becomes like Yu-Gi-Oh! How Yu-Gi-Oh! Does. If you don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically just bans the top deck 100%, like bans literally all of the cards, so you can't play that deck anymore. And I definitely don't want that to happen, and I don't think it will. I think Magic has the right amount. Like, I think before, they were kind of too conservative, and so they're basically kind of loosening down a bunch, and so I think they're going to get it to a good balance in terms of bans. Anyways, just wanted to touch on that. I am super excited now for Standard. Really excited. Maybe going to do some more deck building demos, since now we have a wide open format and don't have to worry about certain decks. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know, guys, what you think about these bans and just in general on the change in the approach to bans for small foreseeable future. So yeah, if you like this video, also go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below, and look forward to a brand new metagame in the future. Alright guys, see you next time.